Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. And I've got another pen video here for you. And I'm bringing last week's mystery pen to you guys. And this is a WingSung 9130 or 9130. Now, there's not a ton of information out there on this pen. So I know that Chris Rapp 52 has done a review on his pen. I think he did it, it was about a year ago. He did it on I think a yellow version. This pen is offered in 4 different colors that I can find on eBay today. The blue one that you see in front of you, and then green, yellow, and red, and all 4 are transparent. Now there is a blacked out version, but I did not find that version on eBay. And I'm sure that maybe if that was one that you really wanted, you could possibly go and find it somewhere else online. Now this pen retails for about $5. I think I paid $5.99 when I originally bought this pen. And when I looked today, the 4 colors that I found were right at $5. So not a very expensive pen. Now, the pen itself. You've got, starting up here at the top, you've got this metal kind of cap, so to speak, or finial up here. You'll notice that we've got our WingSung bullseye up here and also on the clip. And then making our way down the cap itself, you'll notice that you have a white cap liner. One thing, obviously it would have been nice if they would have used like a clear cap liner since this is a transparent pen, but not a very expensive pen, so I can't complain that much. The cap liner is completely removable. I can show you guys that. If you look down inside of there, you will see that you just take a flathead screwdriver and you're able to unscrew this cap liner. And you may say, well, why would I want to do that? Well, let's say that you have your pen leaks for some reason, and you get ink that falls back behind that cap liner, which can happen. I've had it happen to me before. And I will say the cap liner is very easy to remove. So that is one nice thing about the pen. This clip is very thin. It is springy and it does do its job. Not a very thick metal by any means whatsoever. You've got 3 diamond shape cutouts on the clip. So kind of an interesting little touch there. The clip, as you can tell, goes into this metal piece here. Now, when you unscrew the cap liner, you can completely remove the clip from the cap itself. So just something to note there. As you could tell before, this is a pull off or snap cap. So it's not a twist off cap. So nice pen for work or school, especially if you're needing to take quick notes. You're not gonna have to twist on and off the cap. So one nice detail about the pen. Now again, the body is completely transparent until you get to the very end of the barrel here. And you've got another kind of metal facet here, which basically acts as a piece to allow you to post the cap on this pen. Now, as you can tell, this is not a very large pen. So posting it is almost, you almost have to post this pen in order to write with it. I would say most people would have to, so it's because of its size. Now, that means it would be a good pocket pen, This would definitely, or at least for me, this is definitely a pen that is good to take to work because it's cheaper. It's only about $5. It's very small, so you can fit it inside of a pocket easily. And if you happen to lose it, it's not like you spent, a ton of money on a pen and you're going to be really upset that you lost it. Now, looking at more of the business end of the pen, you'll notice this section looks very familiar to a very popular pen. It's kind of got that Lamy styled section with those cutouts for your finger. Not my favorite section. I don't really prefer this section, but I know some people like it. Now you can kind of see that pen, how it fits in my hand. Now, if I'm jotting a quick note, I don't have to post this pen at all. But if you wanted to, it does post very securely. Makes it a little bit back heavy because it does definitely elongate that pen. It's hanging a lot over at least my hand anyways. But it doesn't really bother me as far as the overall writing experience. Now, moving down to the nib, again, you'll see more WingSung branding. You'll see some of that scroll work on the nib, very basic nib. Now, this is a, like a lot of WingSung pens, this is a pilot kind of styled nib with those wings that are folded down, and you've got that pilot styled feed. Now, this is a clear feed, so that's one really cool thing about it. So say if you get the red pen and you put red ink in it, your feed's going to be the color of your ink, or really any type of ink you want to put in the pen, so you can make really cool colors. So probably one of my favorite touches on these type of pens is the transparent feeds. And again, you can see that feed inside the section there. So again, just another really cool, nice touch, I think. Now, taking off the barrel reveals your converter here. This converter did come with the pen, so you don't have to purchase a converter separately. Now, pulling that converter off, and the reason why I'm doing that is, so you look at this converter and it kind of looks like a standard international converter, but when you put it up next to another one, the openings are different. So, you know, I don't know what other converters for sure would fit into this pen. I was a little bit kind of, you know, that's one thing you would think a pen that is this cheap, you would have just a regular standard international converter. But in this case, you don't. So that is one downside I would definitely say. So if your converter starts to leak, start to have issues with it, it would be somewhat difficult to find a replacement, or may possibly be. So just something to note. And, you know, I can't entirely tell, and I've never really looked, honestly. But I do not believe this would be a pen that I would eyedropper. You know, I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I mean, obviously, not only is that back end, I don't know if that part would leak, for instance, and then also just how spread apart these the threads are here. I don't even think silicone grease would help you out a lot. So just something to note. All in all, that's really the pen. So as I stated before, it's $5. We'll do a writing sample next. Before I do that, actually, I was going to do some sizing comparisons real quick. I'm going to bring in some pens real fast. So for my last review, we've got our Moonman M2. So you'll notice that that pen already is larger. Now I'll bring in my WingSung 698 as well. And then just for some additional sizing comparison, we'll do a Jinhao 886. So about the same size. I would say the Jinhao 886 is just a tad bit longer, maybe by a hair. So this WingSung definitely is on the smaller side. All right, guys, so up next, we will do a writing sample, and then we will finish up from there. I'll see you in a moment. All right, guys, we're back. So we have the WingSung 9130. I'd say this is a extra fine nib. You know, and the nib works well. I know some people don't really like extra fine nibs. Definitely say it's a nib that will work well, though, on cheaper paper. It probably won't have quite as much feathering, so it'll probably work well there. As I stated before, I paid $5 for this pen, or actually I paid technically $5.99. So, but you can get it for around $5 right now on eBay. So there you kind of see some of the writing sample there. Oh, then the ink that I'm using is, if I remember correctly, I've had this pen inked up for a while. I think it's just Noodler's Blue, honestly. And it works well in this pen. Very wet ink. Definitely works well on this pen. Wetness test. This is Clairefontaine paper, you know, but definitely this ink suits this pen well. I would say probably a drier ink and this extra fine nib probably would not work quite as well. This is not a nib that you're going to get obviously a lot of line variation out of. So it's a nail. It's pretty stiff. But I think all in all, you know, this is a nice pen. Would I buy another one? Probably not. I mean, the other colors, I mean, this is not a pen that just totally wows me. But I would definitely say that it is an interesting little pen. And I think it's worth looking at for $5. You can get a pen that's going to write. And definitely if you need something to maybe throw in a purse or in a backpack, or just to carry around with you, that if you were to say hand your pen to someone and you were worried that you might not get it back, because that's happened to me before, definitely is a pen that I think, you know, might be a decent investment. I say the biggest drawback to this pen is just that converter for me, just not knowing, you know, how easily I'd be able to change out the converter. I haven't done any additional research on that. I actually watched Chris Rapp's review, I think, today, and noticed that I don't think he was sure on what the converter was either. So at some point I'll get an answer, and if anybody wants to know, just comment down below, and once I find that answer, I will let you know. So guys, I do not have a mystery pen this week, and there's a reason for that. Now, my next couple videos are going to be a little bit different. I do have some pens that I want to review, but I've got something really cool in the mail that I want to kind of check out and play around with, and I'm going to do a review on that. And then I'm also going to circle around and do a re-review on a pen that I did a long time ago that I think warrants another follow-up review. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have one of these pens. Tell us what you think about it. Other than that, guys, everyone take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.